no one there for them and no one around. One person can be the whole reason for life or death for someone. And my reason for living is my best friend, Ali. And everyone meets their best friend in a different way. And mine was a really weird twist of events. It started out with a boy, but then we hated each other for 2 years, and now we're best friends because we realized how much we had in common. And I chose to do Ali for my speech because she's been through a lot. She's probably the biggest part of my life, and she has a great future ahead of her, despite her past. And before I tell you about everything that's happened to her, I'm going to tell you about who she is. She goes to Park, and she's a junior. She's 17, and she's almost a senior. She's a good student. She has a B average, and she's starting out in a 2-year college, but then going to a 4-year. She got accepted to a 2-year on a softball scholarship, and then she plans to go to River Falls for her 4-year education. She comes from a messy family. Her mom isn't in her life, and her dad and her stepmom don't trust her. Stepmom doesn't even let her drive the car because she thinks she's going to crash it or something. And her stepmom tries to take over and take the place of her mom, which, if any of you have a stepmom, it kind of becomes a problem because they're not actually like your parent. And her sister, that she doesn't really see, says that she's a lot like her mom, which causes a problem because she doesn't want anything to do with her mom and told her mom just to stay out of her life. And the next time she's going to see her is at her graduation, and then plans on never talking to her again, which is a complication sometimes. But then she also went through a really abusive relationship. She dated this guy for 2 years, and he physically abused her, and emotionally abused her, and mentally abused her, and he still does to this day. He'll threaten to kill her, and because she replied, she went to the cops, and they said they couldn't do anything about it. So he literally has death threats put on her, and has people threaten her at her school, and she can't do anything about it. And until recently, we thought that was it, but we found out he cheated on her. And she made the mistake of doing it once, and he held it against her for 2 years, and still does to this day, and calls her names like slut and whore, and tweets about her, and puts it all online. So hearing that was a little interesting. And because of her family issues and this relationship, she's stuck in a depression, and it's caused her to go through drastic measures, and she's now trying to get over it. And she talked to her parents about it, and they put her back in therapy, and she started depression pills. And one of the main reasons I picked her is because she's a huge part of my life. She's experienced because she's been through a lot, and she knows how to help me through everything that happens in my life. During the interview with her, I asked her, "Where do you think you would be without me?" And she replied, "Dead." And then I said, "Where do you think I would be without you?" And again, she said, "Dead." And I said, "Why?" And she replied, "Because we need each other." And that meant a lot to me because I know I can go to her for anything I need, and she'll help me.